Kuhnian scientific revolutions, remember then what people believe is what's true. Truth is a social thing. There is no objective reality. So if we look in history, we could find some things with Lysenkoism in Russia, or we could look at how the standard American diet that we have today was put over on America by people like Ancel Keys and George McGovern. Lysenko, Trofim Lysenko, I can't pronounce Russian, so that's the best I can do. I think it's Trofimlysenko. He was the director of the Lenin Academy of Agricultural Sciences. And he led that and influenced biological sciences in Russia from the late 1920s until maybe 1964. And in that time, they rejected Darwinian science and natural selection. They rejected Mendelian inheritance. They rejected genetics. And instead, they believed things like rye could be transmuted into wheat, could be transmuted into barley, or grass could be transmuted into something like rye, which could go into, like, foods, food grains. And the destruction that all that caused in making science social and political set back Soviet biology for at least 50 years from what I've heard. Now there is an example of a Kuhnian revolution where, without an objective reason, one idea replaces another. And science is just a social thing. We're detached from the world. So of course, if we're not really going to be scientific or objective or rational, then force will be applied in human relationships, and you must believe something. People just believe strongly enough it will be true. So to make that happen, the Russian authorities imprisoned people, fired and ridiculed people, even executed some biologists. So a lot of knowledge and wisdom, scientific practice was destroyed because it resides inside individual human minds. So we see that the science, so-called, is being practiced as a social construct, not an objective analysis of cause-effect relationships. It's not inductive and integrated. That's not how Kuhn believes science works. It's just a social construct, and that's exactly what Lysenko did, and how Lysenkoism was practiced. Another example is what happened in America in regard to diet and nutrition. Ancel Keys had an idea he wanted to put over on people. So there was a Kuhnian scientific revolution, aided by the government and George McGovern. So it's similar to how things were done in Russia. Without some of the executions and imprisonment, there still was ridicule. To get his position over, since it's just a social thing, according to Kuhn, not that Keys believed this, but this is how a Kuhnian revolution would occur. Keys got into positions of power and ridiculed those who disagreed with him and pushed them out. So this was just a social game. There was no objective truth involved, no induction, no integration, no objective reality. There is only social belief. That is what McGovern and Keys did to get their views put over with some scientific revolution on American society. And look at the destructive effects. We had destruction in Russia. We've got destruction of people's health and a lot of beliefs in America. People have known for since before Keyes and McGovern, that we needed to do more research into human health, that sugar and carbs were a source of weight gain, that fat as such did not make you fat, but that was pushed aside, ridiculed, neglected, and Keyes and McGovern and others pushed their opinion on other people and made people believe it through intimidation and ridicule and force. That's the only way that a kind of Kuhnian scientific revolution can occur. Notice it's irrational, it's illogical, it's divorced from cause and effect, it doesn't work with natural individual rights, it violates and denies all these basic principles of nature and human life and basic ideas about how science really works. So there are some ideas about how Kuhnian science works, and I hope those help you see how wrong that is. This is not a mere academic issue. If Kuhn is right about science and social belief is what happens, then we're going to have people trying to make a certain belief occur and make it widespread. And the only way that can be done, if it's not true, is by force. That is not viable, not healthy, not something I hope any of you want. I know a lot of you don't. I'm not a secret genius. I've learned a lot from other people, but I hope you do the same and learn that, believing Kuhn is correct is not a good idea. You need to follow more the works of Aristotle, Newton, Darwin, people like that, and see how induction works and integration works. Induction proper, not some interpretation of induction as some form of deduction, but induction from the evidence of the senses. You can learn a little bit about that from John Stuart Mill, from Aristotle, from Ayn Rand, from other people who have an objective idea about how knowledge works. I hope this helps and keeps us on the right track, because I know we love science, we care about it, we love life, and we're just out to make things more practical and make ourselves successful and happy. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Hope you have a good day.